Good afternoon, class. My name is Tony Harris, and my presentation will be on the sexual exploitation of children in America. Jasmine Phillips, who is a contributing writer for the UCLA Law Review, writes that according to the Trafficking Victims Protection Act, all youth under the age of 18 are considered trafficking victims without there being any force, fraud, or coercion. She further states that it's because minors cannot legally consent to sex and thus are always victims. This type of sexual exploitation of minors is disproportionately experienced in the black community and follows a pattern of sexual abuse against young black girls that goes back for hundreds of years in America. Its origins can be traced back to the era of slavery in this country. The slave owners took advantage of their young slave children at their leisure. Unfortunately, the same vulnerability that existed in the young slave girls still exists in young black girls today. According to Michelle Toombs, the U.S. is one of the top 3 destinations for human sex trafficking in the world. She says the average age of entry into prostitution is between 12 and 14 years of age. Phelps tells the story of a young girl, 12 years old, who ran away from the foster home she had been placed in when her mother abandoned her. She met a man 3 times her age who brought her a hot dog and a drink and convinced her to go to a hotel and prostitute herself in order to survive. Phelps says that the young girl remained in that arrangement for 20 years before breaking free. Unfortunately, this is a common occurrence in the U.S. These little girls become sex slaves just like their ancestors centuries earlier.
When I first started, I was 13.
Dad was 14.
I was only 12 years old. At the time, he was like, what, 29, 30?
We're gonna find a little hole today, you know what I'm saying? Put on that curl and make that end, you understand that?
So where yours heading to and all that? I want to talk to you more, you know what I'm saying? You got a nice little thing going on, you know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about, yo.
You're just such a sweet talker. Love you.
This has been 4 years of her life from 12 to 16. He's 35. He's basically raised her.
If you're prepared to stay and have it stay the same and get worse, then you need to understand that's what it is, but it will not get better. You deserve to just have a regular life. You deserve to go back to school and get a job and work in a pet store and do all the things that you want to do. But those have to be your choices, sweetie. I can't make those choices for you.
In any other situation, she would be too young to consent to sex. To have her charged on prostitution charges is a little absurd.
She's treated like a criminal after all the stuff that happened to her. Instead of them taking her to the hospital, they took her to the jailhouse.
I think it's one of the most despicable things a person, anybody could do.
You're my mother. You know how that makes me feel?
There is a house in New Orleans. They call it the Rising Sun. And it's been the ruin of many a poor girl. And me, oh God, I'm one. If I had only listened to what my mama said, I'd be at home today. let a gambling lead me astray. Now my mother is a tailor. She sews those new blue jeans. And my sweetheart is a drunkard, Lord. Drinks down in New Orleans. Now the only thing that a drunken man needs is a suitcase and a trunk. And the only time he's satisfied, Lord, is when he's on the ground. Somebody go get my baby sister. Tell her to do, never to do what I have done. But shun that house in New Orleans. They call it the rising sun. Well, I'm going back to New Orleans. My race is almost won. Yes, I'm going back to spend my life beneath.
Is that my daughter? With 6-inch heels and glistening calves, she swayed along the dark lit path. Enticement was the plan of the day. I pondered what, or if I should say. Is that my daughter? 2 years ago, I think, or was it a day? Her innocence was in my doorway. I see a child at the bus station door, the buzzards circle, the lions roar. Is that my daughter? Oh, how I used to judge. I ought to be ashamed. Jumped in his car, didn't even know his name. For a pillow, for a sandwich, for a friend. Might just be the reason for this sin. Tell me, is that my daughter?